Some time ago, Inspiring Philosophy uploaded a video called Is Atheism a Delusion?, in which he disputed the assertion that religion is a delusion by arguing that it is not the product of mental illness. The Rational Channel and I issued responses to this. The Rational Channel argued that the fact that religious beliefs are not the product of mental illness does not mean that they are not delusional, because they can still be false.
There is a fallacy known as the equivocation fallacy, where you redefine how someone is using a term. For example, if an atheist said the Bible evolved over time, it would be wrong for me to object by saying this is false because a document is not a biological organism that changes through generations. The atheist would obviously not be claiming the Bible evolved like an organism does. In the same way, this response video is committing an equivocation fallacy. Again, what is the context of my first video, guys? We are talking about delusions that would be the result of wishful thinking, abnormal brain functions, or a mental disorder. We are asking whether religious experience is a delusion like you get from a mental disorder, which should be abnormal brain functioning.
Well, then wishful thinking shouldn't be lumped in there, because wishful thinking is not abnormal at all.
Merriam-Webster defines a delusion as either a belief that is not true, which is the broader use of the term, or a false idea or belief that is caused by a mental illness.
Your first video said that atheists claim that religion is a delusion, and you rebut that by saying that religion is not a delusion because it is not outside the range of normal brain function. So when you said that religion is not a delusion, you used the clinical definition of delusion. But the title of that video asks whether atheism is a delusion, and you said that it requires hard cognitive work in order to be an atheist. Do you think this corroborates the idea that atheism is a delusion? If you do, then you are no longer using the clinical definition. You switch to the more general definition. You're saying that religion is not a delusion according to the clinical definition, but implying that atheism is a delusion by the non-clinical definition. So who is the one equivocating here?
The rest of the video is just hammering out this straw man, and at times they quote mine what I said. Like the part where I said perhaps the disbelief of atheists is the result of hatred towards a creator. Now if you notice, I did not say this is definitely true, and I did not say a study I cited concluded this.
What you did do was title the video in which this speculation appears, Is Atheism a Delusion?, which pretty strongly implies that you think it is, and that the papers you cite corroborate that suspicion.
The Messianic Manic also responded with a short 3-minute video.
IP always mentions how short my videos are. Listen, asshole, I only need 3 minutes because I'm so intense.
And it is what you would expect from him. He makes the same equivocation fallacies and uses the same flaws. The only thing of value he tries is to claim theism is a result of hyperactive agent detection. This is a neurological function where we assume there is agency, where it may not actually be. He cites Daniel Dennett, who has suggested this is where theism arose from. But the problem is this simply doesn't work for traditional theistic beliefs, and he doesn't give any scientific evidence to support its connection.
The HADD is just one example of the many cognitive biases that may explain religious belief. It is by no means the only one, and you say as much in your earlier video.
Banerjee and Bloom concluded our cognitive biases make us prone and receptive to religious ideas.
This is precisely the point I was making. If theistic beliefs are the result of natural biases, then natural explanations for theistic beliefs are better than explanations involving woo.
People often ask why I do not address a lot of response videos. Well, I think this video points out why. Generally, when someone like this guy responds to me, he does it by taking what I said out of context, or just making things up I never said.
He's talking about the time I called him out for saying that quarks are not matter. I most certainly did not make things up. He said this in an early draft of a response to one of my other videos. His exact words were, "Quarks are not matter, they are postulated entities that make up matter. So they are not matter, but something other that would be a component of matter." In fact, after I pointed out that his assertion that quarks are not matter is horse shit, he wrote this on his blog. Unfortunately, someone who asked to read this an early draft of this reply mistakenly posted it to his page, and TMM posted a response to an early draft I had. He eventually realized that he was wrong about quarks and took this bit out of the final draft of his response. But when I said he made this assertion, I certainly didn't make things up, and he knows I didn't make this up. He knows exactly where he said that quarks are not matter. He later changed his story from "this was in an earlier draft" to "I never said this." Compare the early draft I received to the final draft. I've put the words both have in common in red. He changed his claim from "you can't say quarks are matter" to "you can't say quarks consist of matter," which, by the way, is also fucking wrong.